he said, my dream is just to have Tim McGraw tell me I'm jacked. And we're like, okay, buddy, keep dreaming. But sure enough, we walk up, and the very first time we saw Tim, we run into him in the hallway. He kind of shook our hands, me and Zach. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. And he looks at Colton, and he goes, oh my God, man. Wow, he goes, you make me feel like I need to be in the gym more. He goes, you are just jacked, man. And we're looking at each other, we're going, no freaking way. Hey, we're Restless Road, and you're listening to Like a Farmer.
Hey, y'all, it's Pat. Welcome to another episode of Like a Farmer. As you know, every single Wednesday you can catch us on YouTube or wherever you listen to your audio podcast. I hate saying that on opening, but I'm getting pretty good at it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's pretty flawless.
Today, Restless Road is on the show. We're going to be talking about the beginnings, how it even became Restless Road, where the name came from, a little bit of X Factor, a little bit of American Idol, and a lot more stuff. Y'all get ready. Colton, Garrett, and Zach.
How you doing, man?
You did
What an
it.
intro.
Hey.
What an intro.
I appreciate y'all coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Right off the bat, we're going to play a game, okay?
All
One of my
right.
favorite games.
Okay.
Who's Who, presented by Case Knives.
All right.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's nice when there's multiple people that come on the show because you have to change up the game a little bit. All right, so Who's Who is everybody's going to close their eyes.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, you know, who is this person, and y'all just point who y'all think it is.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
And close.
Okay. Who is the most athletic? Okay, close. Who is the bigger party animal? Who's got the best voice? If you had to choose one of y'all to babysit your kid, who would it be? All right, there we go. That's the game. Hey, y'all did pretty good. A little bit in the beginning, y'all messed up a little bit, but
Who was it?
babysitting the kid, boom.
I got it. I figured I got it.
Well, he has 3 children,
Yeah, I
so
was gonna say, I figured
he ought to be pretty good at this point.
Man, I want to really. I'm super pumped for y'all to come on the show, and I just want to let's back up a little bit, okay?
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit about childhood. West Virginia,
West Virginia.
Pennsylvania, correct?
A little bit. I grew up in 3 different states.
Okay,
so there's even a little bit before that. I grew up in Iowa. That's where I was born.
Gotcha. That's far. You want to talk about farm country? I mean,
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah.
And then, what about you?
I was going to say his first job was a corn pollinator.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a 2-week stint, but we can talk about that.
I'm excited. And then you're
I grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
okay. Wow. So I mean, if Alabama, if you had to choose, you roll tide.
I'm
or
Roll
you-
Tide, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the vibe. You know, I grew up in the town where the university is.
Yeah, so
there
there's
was
just
no other choice.
No option.
Yeah, you'd be excommunicated if you didn't go for Alabama. So
100%.
Yeah.
Zach, let's start with you, man. I mean, Iowa, corn country.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that?
Yeah, I grew up in Iowa, went to school in like the middle of a cornfield, and my parents were teachers, so I kind of grew up in the suburbs, but then, eventually by the time I got to middle school, was out, met a lot of kids that did live out in the country, and then we had this company come in one day during 8th grade lunch, and they said you can make $8 an hour if you want to pollinate corn this summer. And so that's kind of where that started. And I was at this gas station called Come and Go, K-U-M Go. And
Make sure you spell it out.
And they just pick us up at like 5 a.m. and we go out and pollinate corn. And I actually didn't know what that was. I know my parents, they did detasseling growing up. And so that's what I was familiar with, but I never heard of pollinating. But I found out real quick. And then we did that for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then I realized this isn't fun and I want to be a kid and I want to go to the lake this summer. And me and most of my friends didn't last very long. And we were only 13 or 14, so.
I think it's good to point out, I mean, just right off the bat, there is a lot of people that just assume corn it just shows up in the grocery store. Or the
100%.
beef just shows up at McDonald's. I mean, that was one of the main reasons why we wanted to start this show, right?
Yeah.
To celebrate that lifestyle and how hard that work is. I mean, that's crazy that people just assume it's just like that.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot to get it there from A to B.
From A to B.
There's a lot of little letters in between A to B to
That's
get it there.
100%. It doesn't just show up at
Yeah,
Publix or Walmart.
100%.
West Virginia now.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
I mean, you want to talk about a dog and how he has, I mean, if you had to just West Virginia's in the dictionary, immediately you should have a picture of Pat.
Oh,
McAfee.
100%. He is like, and it's been funny because I feel like he was always, even when he was at West Virginia playing, he's kind of the same person that he always has been. I literally watched a video this past week that he showed a video back when he was playing. He said, yeah, I think when I get finished with this, I want to be a talk show personality. I think that's what I want to do. And then he went on, and now he's like, honestly, probably our biggest advocator, and we need it. Like it's definitely been cool to watch him kind of like really explode. And then hopefully the program's going to turn around this year. We got Rich Rod back, and I know Pat's been pretty involved in trying to bring some players in, so we'll see.
Rich Rod is a dude, man.
I'm
Football
excited.
knowledge. I think at one point he did have a stint under Saban.
He did, yeah.
Okay.
There was, and good old Saban's from West Virginia. It all comes back to West Virginia.
All the greats,
I'm telling you,
all
all
the
the greats. But honestly, I know a lot of people were upset when he came back, but I'm fired up.
Now, something I saw in the news the other day, Pat is buying a bar.
Yeah, in Morgantown. Yeah,
Okay,
I've
so
seen
if
that.
you
Yeah,
Shut that down a couple nights? Or?
Well, I don't know. I'm curious. I didn't know which one he's buying. I know Owen used to have a bar up there, Owen Schmidt. It used to be called Schmidt's Saloon, and that was a really big country bar. They used to bring in like country artists. Yeah, Schmidt's Saloon. Fact check me.
Well, I'm talking about his. I'm talking about
his bar.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to be. I just seen that he bought one. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely frequented a lot of those bars in Morgantown. I don't know where it's going to be though.
I don't either. He's one of the bars are closing down, and he is,
Not unless it's.
and
Which-
he's taking over.
I don't think it's. I think Schmidt's
is
Saloon
buying a
closed.
bar in Morgantown. Yeah, right here.
Does it say which bar?
Happy's.
Happy's. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's buying that. So you know, Pat. It
He's-
all goes back to West Virginia.
It always goes back to West.
All roads lead to West.
They
Virginia.
do. We joke about that because we run into people all the time, and for the state being as small as what it is, I swear I can
You
meet
wouldn't
somebody
believe
from
how
West
many
Virginia.
people he meets that it goes, oh my gosh, I grew up like an hour from where you're from. Like it's
Yeah,
actually
it's we're small, but I guess we're
Small but powerful.
everywhere. Yeah.
It's really easy to walk around as an Alabama fan, though. Like, growing up in Alabama, I feel like you come out of the womb, and it's like you're either
Well,
screaming,
yeah.
Roll Tide, or Roar Damn, one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, we weren't that good. I mean, I don't remember. When did Saban come to Alabama? Probably like 08, maybe?
He
08, 09?
won the national championship at LSU, like at 07, yeah.
Yeah,
he
he
came
left
somewhere
right
around
after
then,
that.
and then, I mean, it just exploded. I think our town, honestly, from growing up there and then till I was about, like, I think he came to town when I was probably, like, around middle school age or something, but it just really, I mean, the football program obviously, like, exploded, but it made our town just, like, so much more exciting. Like, the university, the enrollment rate went up. There was all kinds of new stuff, and now it's, like, kind of unrecognizable from when I was a kid. Like, there's a lot more stuff going on, and I'm really interested to see now that he's gone, like, what's going to happen, because we had a really good run.
You had a
We had a damn
Slightly.
good run.
yeah.
We had
It
a
was
damn good
okay,
run.
you know.
It was
I don't know.
all right.
We'll see if we can get back there, but I mean, it was a time for
Probably not.
sure. Probably not.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I would say your time
all
is done.
dynasties fall though. You know what I'm saying?
But, yeah.
I agree.
They all fall.
They come to an end, and your end is here, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, so when you think about how y'all, can I just take me back to how Iowa, Alabama, West Virginia, how y'all come together and say, hey,
Yeah.
we're starting a band.
Yeah,
Gosh, how many years now?
2013.
12 years ago, Colton and I auditioned for this show, X Factor. We were straight out of high school, finished our senior year, and ended up auditioning as soloists and getting through to a certain point. And then we met kind of in the next round of the show and got eliminated for about 5 minutes. And then Simon came out and said, we want to see some more people, and called our names. And we formed the band on the show. At the time, Garrett wasn't on the show quite yet. We met him the year following. But we competed on the show and got 4th place. And it really kick-started the dream and the whole idea of a trio. And we really just loved the idea of showcasing everyone's individual voice and making harmonies. And we've grown up loving bands like, Rascal Flatts and Alabama and Brooks and Dunn and all that kind of thing. So that's where it started. And then, a year later, we had an opening slot in the band. And Vine was huge. So Garrett here,
Vine.
he was
The
a little,
Vine
he was a
days.
king on Vine. Yeah,
was pretty-
give this
I was
guy
pretty good on
6
Vine.
seconds and he can do a lot with it.
What? So what were you
Couldn't have
doing?
said it better
Yeah.
myself.
That's why he's about to be a dad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What were you doing on Vine? Can we hit on that? real
So
quick?
well, so
Were
the
you doing like dances and stuff?
no,
or
no,
were
I
you,
was
like,
just doing the 6-second covers. I remember so.
How do you even do a cover in 6
Well,
seconds?
so I was on there, and then basically, I saw them on the show. So at the same time that they were on the X Factor, I had auditioned for American Idol.
What did you think when you saw them on the show? Like immediately.
I thought they were really cool. I was like, they
whose
look like-
poster did you have
Yeah,
on the
whose
wall?
poster?
I had,
was
I had
on.
all three, man. No. So like I did the American Idol thing. I went to the Hollywood Week, and I came home, and then I was really into those shows. Like I would keep up with all of them because I'd just been on one, and I wanted to do music and stuff. So I remember watching the X Factor. I saw them on there, and I was a pretty big fan of the band. I thought they were like really, really good band. Thought it was a really cool idea. And then I got on Vine and YouTube and stuff, and like Luke Combs was on Vine, and it was just kind of like you pick like a country song or something like that, and you just sing like the best part or whatever. So
Can you do a 6-second cover right now?
No, what's a
6
second?
second cover?
What was your
Here
go-to
you go,
cover?
I'd be on there. I'm in love, loving on you, and then it would just go on. I mean, you just do
That was
like
6.
one.
That was
you just
close.
pick like the best part of the song and do it. And I remember like guys like Luke Combs were on there before he exploded, stuff like that. So I was just busy doing that because my thought was I was going to go to college and then just like move to Nashville after or something and just whatever. And then one night, I think I was in my senior year of high school, I got a DM from Restless Road on Twitter, and I thought that was like the biggest deal ever. I was
Who
like,
was the
wow.
one that DM'd you?
I think it was Zach. But yeah, basically
I
it was
said,
just
"Hey,
like,
man,
hey, dude, like,
you up?"
You up? He said, you up? And I was like, I am. No, he basically just said, he kind of filled me in and was like, don't know if you know about us, but we were on the show, whatever, and we're looking for a new guy. Can you come try out? And then I ended up going and meeting them. And then, we clicked really well, kind of sang some songs in the studio. And I was really excited. And then a couple weeks passed. And then they called me back and asked me to join. And I've been in it ever since 2015. So it's been 10 years now I've been in the band.
Long time.
How do you go about when you're wanting to compete in the X Factor? Assuming it's not even a thing anymore, is that correct?
No,
we shut
Think
it down. We were the
yeah,
last
we-
season.
No,
No,
Sounds-
the last two.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
it was
get any
too
better than
good.
this.
You couldn't go any.
we gotta end this. We're peaked. So how do you go about like auditioning or competing or signing up? I mean, how does that even work?
Honestly, I feel like there was at the time. I think there was tons of different ways. You could go in person. They had a bunch of audition cities. I know for me, like I did it online. At that point in time, I'd done so many of those competitions. I was so tired of it, and I said I wasn't doing it anymore. My mom said, "Hey, they do online auditions." I said, "Well, that's the only way I'm doing it because I'm not wasting any more time and going to it." And sent in an online audition, and they happened to see it, and then they asked me to come to New York and audition in front of the judges for the full thing. And it's a little bit different. Like
My
you audition in
experience
front of
was-
a big arena
Yeah,
full of people.
Mine was a little different, and I think I got into music a little bit later than Colton, so I hadn't tried out for as many things. I had just done like an American Idol thing like Garrett had, but I got my mom for I told my parents, I said, for Christmas all I want is I want you to drive me to New York City. I was living in Pennsylvania at the time, so I said, take me to New York City and let me go to this big audition, and it was like at where the hockey team plays.
Was it the one in Long Island? Did we
Yeah, in Long
audition? We
Island.
auditioned in
and
the same
so
place,
there's like, I don't know, 15,000 people were there, just like, and then it was like
Cattle
this
call.
cattle call, massive thing, and then I went with my mom and like just kind of did like 3 different auditions that day, and I kept getting through those, and then they said, all right, we'll call you by June something if you made it, and they called me on the very last day. And they said, you can come audition for the judges and Simon and all that, but you're on the short list. So if we have time for you, we'll get to you. And I told my family that, and I was like, I don't even know, but maybe. And so all 5 of us went up there, and luckily they had some time.
So y'all both go in as solo, and then how did the Simon was just like, hey, y'all two seem like to be a good match. I'm gonna pair y'all
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
I mean that doesn't happen.
It
does
was it was more than actually just us two.
Yeah,
it was us.
Me, Zach,
This-
Kane was actually supposed to be in the group.
Kane Brown was also there, and
auditioning.
Auditioning, yeah. We met Kane for the very first time there that day, and that was before Facebook, before anything. And then it was me, Zach, and then Andrew Schultz was the other guy who was in the group, and then Kane. And we were so. For anybody who doesn't know what X Factor does, it's like he's been notoriously known. Simon Cowell's been notoriously known for putting like One Direction together. They were on the British X Factor, so he threw them together the same exact way. And then so like when we all got eliminated, they had us all. And you could kind of, now looking back, you could kind of see what they were doing. Like throughout the whole day, they put all 4 of us together, and they would interview us all side by side and like tell us to stand there and sing and do different things. And when we all got eliminated, I remember looking over at them and I was like, I have a feeling like they didn't put a single country, like anybody country through in the male category. I'm like, I think they're going to put us in a group. No, they're not. I don't think they're going to. And then they all walked out and they said, the judges would like to see, and then said all of our names. And
Kane was one of them.
So Kane ended up not wanting to be in a group, and when it ended up, I think it worked out for him.
I guess, yeah. He looked at y'all. He's like, yeah, I'm not getting in that group.
Some serious restless regret.
Yeah, the restless regret is real.
But so yeah, that's how it all happened, and it's been wild. I don't think any of us. We went on that show never thinking that we would ever be in a group, and then come out and be 12, 13 years now in. So it's
unbelievable.
He knew something. He knew what he was doing.
That makes a lot of sense too, because especially on the show, and it's whatever time it is here, who cares? And you pop open an Outlaw light.
It's 9 o'clock somewhere.
And then you start having beer thoughts, okay?
Yeah.
Play this game called Beer Thoughts on the show.
Beer thoughts. I
Yeah.
have a lot of those.
And it's interesting with y'all because as a trio, and people have done it, and people have like really, whether it's 2, 3, however many, you always wonder like, why go that route instead of coming into Nashville or wherever you're going as an individual? Like, what are y'all's?
Well, I know for me,
because all 3 of y'all can sing really well.
Yeah, like for me, I came into Nashville. Like I started working in Nashville in 2009. I started coming down here and writing when I was still in high school. I'd spend 2 weeks there, 2 weeks back home, and I did that for 5 years and was going more the traditional route. I don't know. I feel like early on, because when we all grew up, American Idol was kind of the really big thing growing up all the way through. But then all these other shows started popping up here and there. And I think like I come from a really, really small town in West Virginia. And not unless I completely got out of the state to chase this dream, it really wasn't possible because social media wasn't really a big thing then.
Yeah, I think if Garrett was doing like 6-second vibes right now,
if he was doing them,
I think he would be leaving y'all, to be honest with you. But don't you? So there's always the cool thing about y'all, which I really like. It's like, hey, egos aside, we're 3 guys just kicking ass trying to make it, and there's no one better than the other. Like, do y'all still feel really good about, hey, this is a trio. There's no singled out individual.
Well, now that you've taken the time, I think we want to take a moment here to all say
Timberlake over here.
No, I think it's cool because like I think we all are really good and we're all really unique in our own aspect. But I think that like we always had the idea that we were stronger together, and I think it is unique. There's so many, single male vocalists out there, and I think like we all bring our unique voice, and I think when we put them together, it makes like a harmony, and that's really cool and unique. And I think our goal the whole time has always been to be like the next great harmony band, but I think we've always wanted to do it a little different where like we do showcase our individual voices, and we're kind of like 3 lead singers because historically like trios and things have the one singer and then there's like the background vocalist, but we all wanted to be a group but also kind of be solo artists together and kind of bring our powers together to make harmonies, but also kind of showcase us individually. So I think we can kind of achieve the best of both worlds there, where we all get our moment, but we all come together and make a sound that's a little bit more unique than just one guy singing. You know what I mean?
100%.
Nobody can say that they want to leave to be a solo artist because we get to do it when we're in the band too.
Yeah, that's true. How
true.
deep do y'all go as like this trio thing? Do y'all live together? Do y'all like?
We did for a long
Eat
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
We did for a
while.
long time. Yeah, Colton's married with kids. He lives with his wife. I'm married.
My kids, we all live together.
Yeah, we all live in a 10-bedroom house together.
Honestly, it'd be probably sick. Our wives would hate it for sure. But
Our dream is to create the Restless Ranch and have like a family compound.
Yeah.
Where we have 3 houses on a big piece of land, and then we have like a community center in the middle with golf simulators and
You've seen Righteous
pools.
Gemstones, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, something like
100%.
that.
Yeah, we
think
want
that'd
to
be
create a ranch.
awesome.
We want to create a compound.
At what point did y'all decide to because you were on American Idol. I want to hit on that real quick too. Like, was that one of those things? Do you just choose which direction you want to go? Because whether X Factor, American, I mean, there's so many of them.
It kind of just fell in my lap, honestly. Like, I was like doing the social media stuff. Like they said, it wasn't really a big thing yet, so I was just kind of trying to find any way to like put my talent out there, just to kind of, you know, get a following or anything to do music. And then it was mainly just because they had like this thing called the American Idol like tour bus. So it would come to cities that were like, there were like the big cattle call auditions that you could go to in like Atlanta, LA, New York, stuff like that. But then I heard they were doing a like tour bus kind of remote audition thing where the bus would come. And then so they came to Tuscaloosa, and they had in the Tuscaloosa amphitheater, they had brought the bus thing. So it was kind of like, they said, hey, it was on this day, and you showed up at like 5 a.m, and we waited in line, and I think like 6,000 people showed up from like the, you know, neighboring towns and states and stuff. And then I just showed up with my dad, and I waited in line for probably like 7 hours. We just kind of inched along, and I made some friends with some other country singing guys or whatever, and we cut it up all day.
Just standing in line.
Yeah, we just kind of, and funny enough, so I made friends with these 3 guys that we were all together randomly. And then you basically wait, and then you'd go up on the stage, and it was like 5 rounds of just like talent scout. So you just get on the stage, and there was all these little like fold out tables. And then, you know, you sing for them, and then they'd move you to the next one. And then I went through probably 4 or 5 of those on the stage. And funny enough, the group that I was with, there was me and 3 other guys, and we were the only people to make it the entire day out of like 5,000 or 6,000 people. So it was like literally, it was my group. They gave us all the ticket to go to Salt Lake City. That was the second round. So we all went together, and then we all made it through Salt Lake City, and then they took us to LA to do the judge audition.
Hey y'all, it's Pat with Like a Farmer. Are you looking to add some local flavors to your recipes? Well, visit freshfromflorida.com today, where you can browse hundreds of delicious recipes that bring Florida freshness to your table all year round. Become a Fresh from Florida member for free and create your own menus. Save and send your favorite dishes and get exclusive access to monthly newsletters packed with fresh local recipes. I can promise you, you will be a favorite in your neighborhood. From the Florida fields to your fork, year-round freshness and flavor are just a logo away. Fresh from Florida, there's a sunshine in every bite. Hey y'all, today's episode is brought to you by Ag America, your go-to financial partner for all things agriculture. As the largest independent financial firm dedicated to rural America, Ag America is changing the game when it comes to ag lending and leveling up finance options for farmers, ranchers, and landowners across the nation. And I'll let you know a little secret. The thing that sets this company apart from the rest is the people. They understand firsthand the unique needs of American farmers and ranchers because many of them grew up on farms themselves. They take a farmer-focused approach to finance, prioritizing relationships over transactions to help you build a stronger financial foundation for you and your family. So whether you're looking to buy land or secure working capital, Ag America has your back. Visit agamerica.com today to learn more and see how they can help you achieve long-term financial success. Because when farmers thrive, we all do. Dude, that's awesome.
And then we all made it through
Ryan, because Ryan Seacrest is the one that comes out with like the
So he gave me my golden ticket, and
Dude.
we've actually been lucky enough to work with the Ryan Seacrest Foundation a lot lately. We do a lot of the hospital visits at the Seacrest Foundation, like where they do that, and we've actually become pretty good friends with Ryan and his sister. So it's been cool. We actually saw him the other day, and I told him, I was like, dude, I don't know if you remember this, but like 12, 13 years ago, you gave me my golden ticket. He's like, no way. So it's been cool.
He said, I remember it like yesterday.
Yeah, he definitely. I don't care what he says. He definitely doesn't remember it, but he gives a lot of people golden tickets. But no, I mean, So I went to the Hollywood thing, and I made it to like the last day, and then I got sent home, and then I think that really just like lit a fire underneath me to be like, I really, really want to like pursue music as a career. Like, it was something I dreamed of before, but making it that far and not quite getting to do it, that really made me hungry to like be like, okay, after high school or college or whatever happens, I want to move to Nashville and like try to be an artist or a songwriter or something like that. Like, I knew I wanted to do something in music after that.
If y'all had to put together like a Mount Rushmore of trios and music, it can be any genre.
Trios.
Yeah. Who would y'all put?
Of trios.
Rascal Flatts got to be up there.
Yeah,
Flats.
flats for sure. Man, that's
Lady
what,
A is
Lady
coming to
A.
mind.
Lady
yeah,
A.
Lady A is probably going to have.
Any genre though.
Yeah,
okay.
NWA maybe.
The Jonas Brothers. I mean,
Yeah, you can't.
The
Joe Bros for
the
sure.
Joe Bros, dude.
Who else? I'm like
It's so funny when I think of
Migos. Come on.
Migos.
Yeah.
I try to think like of trios. There's been some that's been trios, and then they went to duos, and then I don't know. I don't know who else. I mean, I can think of like just bands, like or
Oak
duos.
Ridge Boys,
They're
yeah.
four.
No,
four or
yeah,
five,
Oak Ridge
yeah.
Boys.
I think we definitely have like a harmony group, whether it's like 3 guys or 2 or whatever. I think
If y'all were to have to go to a duo, who would be the first one out? That just got awkward.
Well, I would eliminate myself just because I have kids. It's just too busy. Just too busy all the time.
Just dead silent there. I love that. So when y'all decided, you get who is it?
Who is it?
Who was the first one to say, "Hey, we got to go to Nashville if we want to keep doing this thing"?
Well, I think it was just kind of our next move when we got off the show. So how that show worked at the time, it was like Sony had first rights, and so we came down, met with them.
You mean from the show?
Yeah. So like if you come off the show, like the first person, like the first label that got the chance to sign you would have been Sony because they had the contract, I guess, with the show. And so we came down here, sang with them, and then I mean it was kind of, we knew that this is where we had to be, like to make it work, and so we started writing and stuff down in town. So I mean it was pretty fairly quickly that we knew that we had to be down here, but I don't think we actually made the move until about 2015, so like 2 years later. So
For all of y'all growing up, was it always like, "Hey, I'm singing," or was there any, sports, any other stuff that y'all enjoyed doing?
oh yeah, I mean for me, music was always kind of the thing that I knew that I wanted to do. I transferred high schools my freshman year, and I didn't really think of it. I always loved music, but I didn't think of it as being like a possibility until I transferred high schools. Our guidance counselor put me in a talent show and won the talent show, and then ended up from there, got some confidence and started doing some other competitions. One of them I won and got me a chance to come down here and record in Nashville with with some of the first people that I ever met down here. And then from there, that ended up, I met Jeff Stevens, who produces Luke Bryan, and he's from West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And so then it kind of really made me see, oh, maybe this could actually be a real possibility. But I always loved sports, but too small.
Yeah, I was the same way. I played baseball like my whole life. That was like my main sport. I dabbled in golf and all the other things, but I really felt like Troy Bolton growing up, like the High School Musical guy, because
I was curious where you're
No,
going.
I was like the only kid in my whole school or like town that liked music. Like there was no friends really that I could connect with on that. So I always felt like weird.
Okay, now it's coming around.
Yeah,
I see where you're
obviously
going.
everybody loved playing sports, and that was like obviously as a kid, like that's the main thing. Like if you're good at it, like you're pretty popular and stuff. But like I loved that as well. But again, I knew I was too small. Like I wasn't going to go pro or anything. So I did like that, but I also loved music. So that was like my two things I loved to do was play baseball and then do music and put stuff on Vine and sing 6-second covers.
We got to find those Vines, Derek.
Dude, I actually tried to find them, and I think they're all deleted because the app's been wiped. But I think there's like some sketchy website. It's like a
Surely,
cloud.
yeah, they
There's a cloud
archive.
database of like somebody has like databased all of them. So I haven't really looked too deep into it, but I'm sure we could find them.
And then,
Yeah, I had like a full ride, but blew out my rotator
He
cuff.
tore his gingivitis out senior year, and he would have gone D1 for sure.
No, I was unfortunately I love sports, but I just never really seemed to excel at them. Honestly, I tried them all, but I honestly feel like I probably got into music a little different than they did. At first I wanted to like direct movies and stuff. I was obsessed with I was a big nerd growing up. I loved Star Wars so much, and so I was like,
There's some good videos.
There's
If you
some-
deep
yeah.
dive, if you
There's some
deep
damn
dive
good
on
Star Wars
if you
stuff.
deep dive on
They're
the
not
YouTube,
They're not on Vine, but you won't ever find them. I promise
Dude,
you.
I
what
bet
do
you
you
we
mean?
could
Like,
find
were
them.
you acting? Is that what you're?
Oh, like I wanted to like I would buy like camcorders as like a kid and like make videos like during like the summer, and I would try to. Yeah, I was like super interested in that. And honestly, now that TikTok is so big, we get to still use that like part of my brain.
Creative mind, 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, like I kind of feel like I found country music. I didn't really grow up in it the same way maybe these guys did, but growing up, my mom, the only music they really introduced me to that was country, I would say, is like John Denver and Johnny Cash. That's kind of as close as it got. And by the time I was a late bloomer, so my voice didn't really change until I was like 15.
Till he was 25.
Yeah, last year. No, I got into. I fell in love with Josh Turner and Randy Travis and Scotty McCreery and Chris Young about when I was like 15 or 16, and I just dove in headfirst in there. And like when I would go audition for these shows, I was singing those guys' songs, and that was all I wanted to be at that point. And my graduation gift for high school was. My grandpa bought me a studio session here in Nashville, and so I was 18 and I had written some songs, and my English teacher in school secretly wanted to be a music producer, so I showed him all my songs, and during his planning period I would be recording the songs in his classroom. I'd skip class and we'd do that, and then I took those and I brought them here and had these musicians listen to them and did this recording session, and it kind of just gave me a little like confidence.
So it's the English teacher that kind of helped you.
Larry Nath, shout out.
Yeah, the guidance counselor over here. I mean, that's the cool thing about these stories that come from country music, is like you don't know who is like pushing you to actually 100%. Do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if like there's so many little things that I could say throughout the years that probably influenced me. Like Rascal Flatts was a major influence of like, and it's funny because at the time never thought that I would ever be in a group, and then later on down the road, I mean, they really made me fall in love with harmonies. And my 6th grade teacher was obsessed with Rascal Flatts, and
who wasn't back in the day?
And I was really good friends with her son, and I remember we'd ride in her excursion, and she'd just crank Rascal Flatts, and that was the first time I heard him. And it's funny because she probably has no idea like how impactful that was like for me. But yeah, it's always interesting to hear how just the smallest little thing, which we've talked about it a million times a week, especially with those shows. Like if you were on the short list and they wouldn't have got around to them. There's just so many little things that almost could have made this not happen. So
if Vine wasn't out,
if Vine was never a thing,
we
would have never found Garrett. Garrett would be coding a computer somewhere right now.
He would have invented TikTok.
Yeah, I was gonna be in the IPO for TikTok. Like I would have created it somehow.
I brought a gift for all of y'all.
Oh, you got us a gift.
Yeah, I got y'all some gifts. All right. So
whoa, dang, dude!
I got TECOVAS on right now,
No
man.
way.
Come on.
What the hell?
No way.
The kicker here is we play a game on this show called Give 'em the Boot.
Give 'em the boot.
Presented by TECOVAS.
All right.
Presented by TECOVAS.
I think it's your boot.
Are we allowed to look?
Yeah, you can look.
Oh, okay.
Garrett, I think your boot has the questions in it, okay? But just pass the boot along and y'all. Now, hear me out.
Dang.
There are 4 questions in that boot.
These are sharp.
Hey, can I explain the game here?
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, keep going.
There's 4 questions in that boot, okay?
Okay.
And y'all can answer all of them if you want.
Okay.
But if you get one you don't want to answer it, you can give it the boot.
Okay.
But that means if you give one the boot, you have to answer the other ones.
Oh.
Okay.
Garrett, I'm pretty sure they're all of them in your boot, so
Okay.
you can start and then just pass it along.
By the way, these are really nice.
Wow.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, crispy.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I found the magic boot.
Smell.
Okay, are these like awkward questions?
No.
Okay, so one more time. I'm gonna pull one out, and if I don't want to answer it, we have to answer all the
If
other
we
ones.
can give the boot, but we have to answer all
But
the
you
other
can
questions.
answer all of them too. Just pull
Okay.
one out, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull one out. Okay, here we go. Let's see. All right, let's see. If your name wasn't Restless Road, what would it be?
We can answer this.
We can
Yeah,
answer
y'all
this.
can all answer.
Well, I don't know if we would have settled on these, but we did have like runner up names.
They were horrible.
No, we want to hear them.
This one was bad. Haywire.
Haywire.
South of nowhere.
South of nowhere.
And then the alternate to Restless Road could be like Sleepless Streets or something.
We get Reckless Road a lot too.
You gotta have an adjective and then a road. highway, road.
Highway road.
So how did y'all just throw a dart at all those and it?
Honestly, yeah. Like when we got formed as the band, they kind of told us you got like by the end of the day to figure out a name. And
No.
I don't even remember who the guy was. There was just a producer on the show, and he was kind of like the guy who made the call, I guess. And we were just shot every name we could.
You have a couple hours to figure out the name of your band.
Yeah, we were just saying, what about this? And he goes, nah, people are gonna call you that if you call yourselves this. And then we'd be like, okay. And then we'd say, what about this?
You gotta think about what could be.
And,
you could be made fun of. You always gotta
100%,
consider.
yeah.
Honestly, like it just sounded cool, and we just said it. And he goes, "Yeah, Restless Road. That sounds like it could be something." And that was it.
Hell
And
yeah.
now I feel like the name's taken on its own meaning, and we actually have our own catchphrase that we've been saying for the last 12 years. We've coined it. Keep your eyes on the road, and it's really all just about staying focused on your dream and never giving up. So,
Dude, I love that.
that's what Restless Road means.
Yeah.
You
All
throw
right,
that
y'all
on a
ready for
hoodie.
another one?
All right, pull one.
All right, let's see. Who has been your favorite person to tour with?
Ooh.
Oh, probably different reasons for different people.
Yeah.
We'll throw out a couple, but I'll say just for like the iconicness of it all.
I know who you're
we got to open up for Tim McGraw,
Yeah.
and so
It's pretty epic.
we didn't tour with him for very long, but when we were out there with him, it was just definitely a dream come true. And seeing someone that we've idolized for so long with so many hits, who it just is an icon, it was so cool, and he really was went out of his way to make us feel super welcome. And you know, when you're that famous and that cool, you don't have to do that. So Tim McGraw was really awesome.
Would y'all like hang out with him after the show and stuff? And
he actually
He wanted to
stuck
adopt
around.
Colton, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what
he
it was.
loved Colton. I don't know why. Like we were chopped liver, dude. He loved Colton.
I don't know.
why did he like
and I'm
you so
happy
much?
for him, honestly. I was
Because
shocked.
Colton
Well,
had the cowboy hat. He'd been in the gym a little bit.
The first
and Tim,
okay, let me
you know,
brag on Colton. The first thing. So Colton started like over the past couple of years. Colton has gotten absolutely jacked. Okay, he is
Not
really
as much right now.
Well,
man.
he's
It's just
putting,
falling
he
behind.
used to be built like me, you know, lean and mean. But he's really put the work in. Okay, and he said one time, my goal with working out is to be as jacked as Tim McGraw. And then we got the call. We were touring with him, and Colton manifested it. He said my dream is just to have Tim McGraw tell me I'm jacked. And we're like, okay, buddy, keep dreaming. But sure enough, we walk up, and the very first time we saw Tim, we run into him in the hallway. He kind of shook our hands, me and Zach. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. And he looks at Colton and he goes, oh my God, man. Wow. He goes, you make me feel like I need to be in the gym more. He goes, you are just jacked, man. And we're looking at each other. We're going, no freaking way.
He goes, I like that.
you kidding
He
me?
goes,
He
"I
goes,
like
dude,
that
he goes,
shirt."
you got me feeling insecure out here. I think I need to be in the gym more, bro. He's like, these young guys. He's like, you're jacked, bro. And we're
I
like,
had on this like this denim cutoff shirt, and he looked at me and he goes, "I really like that shirt. You know, Faith's been on me about getting a denim shirt just like that. Will you say we trade shirts?" And I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? So I gave him mine, and he gave me a YSL shirt.
yeah,
and
he
the
gave him
thing
a
is
freaking
what's,
Saint Laurent shirt.
What's
dude.
funny is
you
that
kidding
my
me?
shirt, I'm pretty sure, was just from a vintage shop that I just cut off the sleeves, and his was like a $400 shirt that he gave me. But yeah, I still got it, and I hope he knows that was literally my favorite shirt. So there's been multiple times since then.
That might have been the greatest day of your life. What
It
do you
was.
mean?
It was
dude.
pretty epic.
It
But
was
no,
awesome.
he used to. I will say, of all people that we've toured with, he always made sure that he was like standing side stage when we went on stage. When we came off stage, he was there. He would come and sit in our green room for 20 minutes and just talk. And so, just honestly, of all the people we've toured with, by far, for how big he's gotten, he's the most down to earth person I
Very
think we've
humble
ever
guy.
met. Yeah, by far. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. But I got to highlight, I think the other one that we've loved touring with is Kane, just
Yeah.
because we've known him, and to be really, really good friends with somebody and then to get to go on the road with them, it's fun. I mean, it's just
And you got to
like,
show him what he's missing too, because
Yeah.
you know he has some regrets out there.
oh yeah, restless regrets, sir. But he's just, that was probably, we toured with him for over 2 years, and probably, I mean, one of the most fun we've ever had touring. I mean, it was one of the biggest tours we had ever done. We came straight out the gate, and he brought us on tour. So I would definitely say that one was a big one for us as well.
I've heard nothing but great things about him as well.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great human.
I always say Kane's the kind of guy that would give you the shirt off his back, but he didn't even have one on, man. He's just that kind of guy.
He didn't even have one.
He never even had one on to begin with. All right. Well, moving on.
Here we go.
All right. How much credit do you give for Simon Cowell for making Restless Road?
Oh gosh, this is the sticky one.
Well, there's one thing. There's getting a band together. That's the easy part. Keeping a band
and then
together
there's keeping one together.
is a way harder
Yeah.
deal. So I will give him credit for kind of kickstarting and getting the spark,
pushing you to do it.
But honestly, I mean, I think
it was on us
we've
afterwards.
put a lot of time and work and hung on, through the highs and the lows for the last 12 years. So, but definitely.
He
great
definitely
idea.
knew what he was
Great
doing when he
idea.
put us together.
He's got an eye for talent.
Great idea, because it's still like just even there's not too many trios and bands in country music still today, and so I just feel like that's the main thing that we loved and we saw. Like Garrett said, it's just a unique lane to be in, and so give him a lot of credit for
having that vision. First off, yeah.
I think, and that's a great point, Zach. It really is. I think the easy part is like, hey, boys, let's go drink some beers in the garage and start a band. But keeping a band together
After
through the
that.
ups and downs, that's a great point.
Yes, 100%.
All ready for the final question?
All right, hit us with it.
Nah, let's give it the boot. It's the last one.
What is your craziest story you have from X Factor?
Craziest story.
God.
I'm sure y'all have a lot. Y'all talk about them all the time.
This was really I was still so innocent and pure in those days, so I feel like we
Innocent
didn't do. We
and
could have been way crazier.
Colton has something over there.
There's just many. I mean, there's a lot that come to my mind, but it's just a matter of what can be told.
I don't know what you're thinking of. I feel like we were so tame and like we should
We
have been.
were
We
tame.
should have been 10 times
Zach
more
were-
crazy.
Zach
we
was
were
just,
tame.
was just holed up in his hotel room. He's like, I don't know what y'all were doing, but
We definitely were. Okay. Yeah, this is. So
Your bunkmate.
Huh?
Oh, never mind. I got one. If you do, just keep going.
No, you go. You go. I'm
Well,
curious.
it's
what
more
you're
your,
gonna
more
do.
your
So-
story. Like we lived in hotel rooms on the show, and me and Andrew stayed in one, and Colton was in the other.
This is
And-
the one I was thinking of.
Okay,
about.
yeah, and Colton was rooming with this guy Jeff Goot, who ended up
Better you saying it than me.
he ended
Just
up
in case.
beating us there at the very
won
end.
X Factor that
no,
year,
he
didn't he?
got he got second.
oh, he did.
And
Well, he
he's
sings
act-
for the Stone Temple
Yeah, he's
Pilots
the
now.
lead singer now of the Stone Temple Pilots. But Colton came to his room one day. He had just got moved in because as people get eliminated, they shuffle
I
you.
had my own room all the way up to this
Yeah,
point.
they shuffle you around. But
I don't know how
now
I-
that the show was coming closer to the end, they got bunked together, and Colton walks into his room one night, and Jeff was in there with a lady named like Destiny or something, or
Sapphire.
and one of those names, and you can picture like what she might have, the aura she might have had.
The aura.
Incense burning in the room.
Oh,
and all.
Lord.
And he's like, man, any other night, this would just give me one night. And so Colton like came and slept like on the floor or something in our room that night, and gave Jeff a little space.
I'll tell you another great, craziest story. This is actually a positive one. This was really
This is wholesome.
so. We were on. Obviously, we did a show, and then I went to the Jingle Ball, and after the Jingle Ball one night, we were massive fans of Ed Sheeran. Still am a huge
Yeah,
fan
he
of
was
Ed Sheeran.
He's
And-
getting into country music.
I know.
yeah,
I just
apparently
seen that.
He's cooking up a record right
Yeah.
And so we after the Jingle Ball one night, we had some friends of ours that was friend with Sarah Hyland, who was on the TV show Modern Family. She was the daughter
Yeah.
on Modern Family. And she
Knows Stone
invited
Street pretty well. Eric.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were on so we were able to go. She
She's
invited
like, come
us
over
to
to
the
my
house.
place
Yeah,
after the Jingle Ball.
and it was me, Zach, and Andrew, and then Alex and Sierra were the only ones that came from the show. And we went over there, and there was only like 5 or 6 people at the house. And the person that opened the door when we knocked on it was Ed Sheeran. And we sat by a campfire. I have a video of Ed singing. Funny enough, Alex literally texted me 2 days ago and asked for that video. I had a video of Ed singing I See Fire, which is he wrote the song for the movie for one of the Hobbits
Hobbit
movies.
It was
Yeah.
when,
And-
right when The Hobbit came out, and he sang "I See Fire" by
Through a
the
fire.
fire.
Hold on, I
And
gotta show you.
he had just gotten nominated for a bunch of Grammys that night, and yeah, and he sang, and then
We sat around the campfire
We
till
all-
like 4 a.m. with him.
yeah.
Put it up to the mic.
Watch the flames burn on and on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountains. I see fire.
Tell me that's not freaking awesome.
Dude, what just an unbelievable voice.
So
that
with
guy
that
has.
said, Ed, if you're watching, we're way better
We'd
now.
love to collaborate.
Yeah, let's
we
do it.
know,
Please.
we've grown so much, and we know you're getting into country. So let's do something
Yeah.
together.
I'm with you.
But still, one of the craziest things. It's like it was kind of one of those. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Why am I?
The imposter
Did he
syndrome.
like pass you the guitar to like maybe rip one too?
Well,
or-
everybody literally, we were all just.
We did,
It
and
was
I'm really
like
sorry
a
for what it
very.
sounded
Did y'all do the Kumbaya circle?
We did Wake Me Up, because we had sang that on the show, the Avicii Aloe Black song, Wake Me Up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we let that one rip.
Y'all
It
two
was-
sang that?
Yeah. But everybody, it was just there was literally, I think, including us, there was 5 of us that came. There was like literally maybe 10 people total there, and it was all of us just sitting around a campfire till 4 a.m. just singing.
What do you think Ed like was thinking in his mind when y'all were singing?
God, how are these people making? How are they on the show?
I think he probably thought they got a lot to do.
No, I mean, I'm sure he honestly gave us a lot of great advice that night. Like, there's some that I know Zach still uses.
Oh yeah,
He
and
uses
then
one all the
yeah,
time.
he said this. I never forgot it. And then he ended up talking about it in his like documentary, the songwriter documentary thing he made. But he talked about writing songs, and he said, imagine when you first start writing songs, it's like a fixer upper. You turn on the faucet, the water comes out, brown, muddy, nasty. And that's kind of what your ideas are going to be like when you first start writing. And he said the key is to leave the faucet running, and eventually the water will keep coming through, and it will just push out all the gunk, basically, until it runs clear. Not to say that every once in a while you're not going to have a little issue, you're going to have to do a little
Call a
maintenance.
plumber or two.
Yeah.
Call a
But,
plumber.
but he said
Yeah.
that's kind of what it's like. And then I've like just throughout the last 12 years, I've always just, when it comes to like thinking of ideas, it's like I always remind myself to keep my faucet on.
Yeah.
Dude.
Just to like let the, because if you
Great.
don't have it on, if you're
Ed
not,
Sheeran,
Yeah.
advice of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Holy cow. And that's the cool thing about y'all, I will say, just sitting here talking with y'all, coming from 3 different backgrounds, 3 different roads to get here, y'all have just bootstrapped this thing.
Yeah.
And just worked hard, and like y'all are kicking ass.
I
know we've-
appreciate it,
yeah, we've
man.
bootstrapped this thing.
Bootstrapped it,
Yeah,
man.
just throw the plug in there. What's next for y'all?
We head back out. We just finished up the first half of our going out like that tour on the West
y'all are
Coast.
headlining.
Yep. Yep. And
Coming to Florida anytime soon, or East Coast?
Yeah, we're coming to Florida into
in
May.
like a month, yeah.
Yeah.
Into May. And so and then toured throughout the summer and got a lot of new music. Really excited. Just nominated for an ACM. So
So where
that's
y'all go to?
very exciting. Yeah,
Yep.
we'll be there. Yeah.
Is that y'all's first one?
We were nominated last year as well,
Mm-hmm.
so it's an honor. It's an honor to get to be nominated and to go out there and just it's a fun night. It always is a fun night, and so I'm sure this year will be no different. But yeah, just a lot of new music, lots of touring, and yeah, just
New
staying
music?
focused.
We're actually going to the studio, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Recording some new music, so we're super excited about that.
New one coming out this Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Called
I
Last Thing I
heard that.
Deserve. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
If y'all win the ACM award, just make sure you plug in like, hey, and y'all catch our episode on Like a Farmer.
Yeah, we'll be
Y'all
sure to
catch
say
it.
that.
yeah. We just won the
That's
ACM. We'll
how
be
you
sure
do.
to say that, Pat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would be actually
What's
really good.
when y'all release music? Are y'all writing a majority of y'all stuff, or is it?
We try to. We
Okay.
know we've always been what's called the best song wins band.
Yeah.
We're really lucky to live in a place like Nashville. Like the songwriters
dude.
and just people around are so talented. And I
Yeah.
think for us, like we obviously love songwriting, and I think we attempt to write the best music we can. And typically, I mean, a lot of our releases that we have put out that we have written, but there's songs like a good example would be like one was Growing Old With You. It was one of those songs where we immediately heard it and we didn't write it, but we knew that, you know, it really connected with us, and we thought that, you know, with our fan base and everything, like just as a whole, it really, you know, described us, and we thought, you know, people will really connect with this, and so we decided to record it and put it out. And it's one of those things where, you know, you try to write the songs and do your best, but there's every now and then there's just so much talent, so many great songs out there that you hear one that is an undeniable hit and you just say, you know, I don't care if I wrote it or not. I mean, this song is just to a T what we would want to say and what we want to put out there. And so I think we've always had that mindset of like, you know, try your best to do it all. But I mean, again, it's really hard when there's so many talented songwriters out there that are writing these just incredible music that needs to be sung and needs to be put out there. So I think we're never ones to, you know, turn away from a song if we didn't write it. I mean, it's just like what's going to be the best thing that we can say to really get our point across.
I love that. New music.
Yeah.
Finishing up the tour. I love this. Seriously.
It's going to be an exciting year. It's going to be a fun year. Yeah. We wrapped Europe last year, at the end of last year. And we did a headline tour, our first headline tour. So hopefully, cross our fingers, maybe try to get it back over there later in the year. So
That'd be awesome. And how for the ACM, when does that? That's at the
May.
It's the first week of May.
It's like 3.
Okay, so it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Two.
two weeks.
Eighth,
May
yeah.
7th or 8th, somewhere right around there.
Yeah, we're right on the cusp.
Best of luck for
Have
y'all.
Have you been?
Dude,
to the
never.
ACM?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
it's
Oh, you
wild.
gotta go. You gotta go.
I've done a
a
few
fun
of
time.
the shows, but I've never because it's at AT&T.
It's
Or-
no, they did it at the practice. It's at the practice facility
Okay, yeah.
there in Frisco. But it's fun. It's always a good time.
Be a lot of outlaw lights.
Yeah.
If you like. Yeah,
Outlaw.
that's
I
quite a
mean,
bit.
Take dude,
I'm there,
like a farmer on the road,
like a farmer live.
like a farmer live. Do it.
You need to go to ACM's
Pat's
one year
been
and do
doing
the
it,
mobile
dude.
podcast. Dude.
Pat's
I
been
know.
doing the same thing. Just take
Yeah.
the show live, man.
And he's been doing it like with sports stuff, and maybe I just need to take it to these country music awards.
Why not?
I think that'd be a great
That'd be
idea.
Why not?
Post up like right before y'all get to the carpet, so I'm
Yeah.
like the first one y'all see.
Yeah,
That'd be
Absolutely.
sick,
Post up.
though.
All right, if I'm there, you
No,
better.
just-
If I'm
yeah.
over there in the corner with my mic, y'all better
I'm
walk
coming.
over
I'm
there.
coming to you.
We're
I'm coming
there.
to you.
We told y'all. Dude, I appreciate you
Dude,
coming
thanks,
on the show.
man.
dude,
Thanks for
man.
having
Thanks for
us,
having
man.
us.
Thank
This
It's
is
been
you.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I really am, and appreciate everything that y'all are doing for country music and staying loyal, man. I mean that when I said, like, as a trio, there's so many egos in any type of music these days, and for y'all to say, hey, don't care about that, let's just go kick ass as a trio is unbelievable.
I appreciate
it, man.
I appreciate
And thanks
it.
for the boots.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm about to put these
Anytime.
on right now.
Anytime. And as always, I appreciate y'all tuning in every single Wednesday. Catch us on YouTube or wherever you listen to your audio podcast. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to be like a farmer.